I was a dissident in Soviet Union, and I had an invitation from United States. In 1975, I received this invitation. In 1976, I was given the exit visa, and I was leaving for New York that day, and I was coming to take my passport, and I was ready to fly. My family was already in airport waiting for me. That time, on sidewalk, I was moved over or run over by car. It was fabricated by KGB. They wanted to kill me and not to let me go. And I was taken to hospital. Doctors did anything they could to help me, but I was declared dead. There was absolute freedom of your soul and body, and this amazed me. And this was very interesting too. I was happy to be in such experience because I could see their thoughts. I could see everything what was happening. I could smell, I could hear, and I could see their thoughts. This was the main thing what was very, very making me happy and proud. I don't know this word is good to use here or not, but I'm proud of that I can see their thoughts. But it was not bothering me. I saw my body and I hated it, and I didn't want to come to my body back. It was amazing that I was never leaving my body too. I was everywhere who thought about me, but I was with my body. It means that I was not leaving the one part for another. I was everywhere the same time. I could be in New York, I could be in Longview, Texas. I could be in Moscow, I could be in Tbilisi, Georgia. In any place, there was no distance and time at that time with me. I could communicate with the children, with very little children who couldn't speak and who couldn't walk and who were very little, and just coming from that place where I was going. And this was amazing communication with them, spiritual communication. We never spoke in words. We spoke in mental communication. And she had broken hip, and nobody understood why she was crying so loud. And the doctors and these parents were very concerned about this. And I said, don't cry anyway, nobody will understand why do you cry. And she stopped crying and she smiled, you know, and it was incredible experience for that people who were around, and they looked at her and said, what's happened? Why she's not crying at this time? I want to tell them that, you know, she has this disease, this happened with her, but I couldn't communicate with them. After third day when I was back to my body, and after 3 days when I could speak, I said them that, you know, your daughter is crying because of this. She has a broken hip, and you know, and this is the diagnosis which you are seeking on, you know. And they found that it was truth, you know. They were shocked and they were surprised. I have this pain, and I'm in darkness. I cannot see anything. Then I cannot move hand, then I cannot move my body. And then I understood that I am not them, but I am. And it scared me. Fear, unknown. Why are all people afraid of darkness? Because they don't know what is in darkness. The fear of darkness is because of unknown. Ununderstandable makes you to be afraid of something. That's why I was afraid too. I was afraid of this darkness. I was afraid of being there. But more afraid was that I was somewhere without my body. But I was. And I was a scientist, you know. I worked on idea of psychology and languages, you know. I learned physics, I learned chemistry, I learned many other physiologies, anatomy, and all it was based on dialectical materialism, historical materialism. And in my idea it was impossible to be somewhere without your body. Where is my main component, my life, my body? You know, I was scared to death, but I was already dead. And that was the amazing feeling, to understand that you are, but you are not. If you think, you are. If I think, I thought, I am. But if I am, and if I think, why cannot I think positively what's happening around me? And I began to think about light. I saw light outside of darkness, and it shocked me. But first feeling which I had was to come to that light. The first thought which came to me was to go into this light. And I had that movement. Particularly very great thing happened with me. It was that I saw my parents, my real parents, and I understood that they were killed. And they were killed by KGB in Moscow, and I was happy of this. It sounds very ridiculous, but you know, I was happy because I was thought that I was abandoned by them. I saw all my life, but it's in that dimension which cannot be described. This was holographical view of being inside of your life, and then being as a viewer, participating the play of theater which happening there. But it is you, and you know that you are this. We are alive because of love, and this was what brought me back, which, to be honest, I didn't want to come back, but this love brought me back. Love of that people who wanted me back. Darkness, where I was first. This is the same as somebody told you, the separation from light, from love, from God, from infinity. Of course, this is hell. That's why suicide was condemned by all religions. That's why they are telling that you will go to hell. It means you will go to nowhere, and nowhere does not exist. It means you will go somewhere on opposite than goodness. This weekend I was in morgue, and on Monday I was taken from morgue, washed, and they began autopsy. It was 11 o'clock in the morning. When they opened my abdomen, they took hematoma, and they began this T kind autopsy, and some great power took me with neck, I think that part I can explain, and pushed me down. And I saw this movement down, and then I felt my headache, and I opened eyes. And this was coming back to my body. This is the main message which I brought back, that love is what cannot be changed. This is everlasting. And love is with life always together. Love, what keeps this world alive. Love as an eternity. Love as a basic of humankind. And we are alive because of love. I saw life as a infinite life, infinite light, as a everlasting being. We cannot die because we are already created to live forever. The dimension of spirit is everlasting life. Death does not exist. Don't be afraid. Death is only the part as a station, railroad station, where you come always to go to another life.